Hey, and welcome to Making Space. Here's the deal. I'm going to show you how to take a 2D astrophotography image and turn it into a cosmic voyage. We're going to use A's classic 3D renderer with 3D layers and CC particle world for the stars. But first, I'll start by showing you how to use StarNet++ to remove the stars from your image so that you can create a better sense of depth. I've talked about most of these techniques before, but when Alex Linde, astrophotographer, educator and artist, contacted me asking for a complete guide, I jumped at the chance to help him out. So, make yourself a brew and let's get started. StarNet++ is a free bit of software you can install from starnetastro.com. The creator, Mikita Misura, does not accept donations, but does like a shout out, so thank you. From the download page, I downloaded the Windows link at the bottom under Graphical User Interface. Once downloaded and virus checked, you can unzip the file and run starnetgui.exe. Your image needs to be a TIFF and 16-bit. Photoshop can convert this for you just by going to Image, Mode, 16-bit. And then by going to File, Save As, and choose TIFF in the Save As File Type drop-down menu. Once you have your TIFF, add it into StarNet, and then in the output line, make sure to change the file name. And that's it. If you're not sure about using StarNet++, Alex told me he's been using StarXTerminator, which can be a plugin for Photoshop. There's a free trial before you decide to spend money on the price tag. There's also a way to use Photoshop's own select and content-aware fill, but I found the results from StarNet++ to be best. So, once you have a massive image file, it's time to bring this into After Effects. I've got a standard HD comp, but this method works with vertical video as well as 4K or whatever. And I'm going to bring my image into the comp from the project panel, and I'm going to make it 3D. This is placing a 2D image in 3D space, so it's not doing anything super clever. But if I look at it from the side, it's still 2D. But provided I'm sensible with my camera move, I can create the illusion of depth. Speaking of which, next I'll go to Layer, New, Camera. And I'll create a 2-node camera with the 50mm preset. 2 nodes means I get 3D coordinates for both the camera's position and point of interest, where the camera is looking. And to make this easier, I'll go back to Layer, New, and create a Null Object. This is an invisible layer. But I can make it 3D, and if I hit P on the keyboard, I can see I have 3D coordinates. So if I now twirl down the camera properties and the transform properties, I can then use the pick whip to link my camera's point of interest to the null layer's position, which gives me a target I can move around. So next, I'm going to set the camera's Z position to be way back, about 7,000 pixels. And I'll set a keyframe. Then at the end of my timeline, I'll set the value to be just -500. And that set a new keyframe automatically. If I've gone too far back and we can see the edges of the image, I can just expand its transform properties and scale it up. So that's the movement taken care of. And remember, I could have panned across the view instead, or possibly animated the camera's Z rotation. Or because I've set my null layer, I could adjust that position so that instead of a straight push in, I could be looking at a different direction as I travel. Next, let's add some stars to the background. Here's a starfield image. Now, StarXTerminator can produce a layer of stars for you from your astro image. But if you want to make your own, it's pretty simple. In After Effects, go to Layer, New, Solid. Make it a large square solid, say 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels. Then go to Effects, Simulation, CC Starburst. Drop the speed to 0. Set the size to the lowest it will go, 25. And then go to Effect, generate fill, and set the fill color to white. Make this layer 3D and drag it to the bottom of your comp. Hit enter and rename it to Stars Background. Tap P to view its position and set it way back, about 15,000 pixels, and scale it up until its outline is bigger than the comp window. We can't see it because our nebula is blocking it, so next we have two options to remove the background. Either we can set the layer's transfer mode to screen, if you can't see that, make sure you are using the classic 3D for the renderer. Or if you're using the latest version of After Effects, go to Effects, Keying, Unmult, which removes the black. If I solo this for the moment and make sure I'm viewing the transparency grid, like my cool mug, and then I adjust the black level and softness, you can see we get more substantial clouds than with screen. Either way, it works well. The star's background also being a 3D layer, it will respond to the camera in any rotation. But because it is further away, we can achieve a parallax effect. This all works quite well, but let's go one step further and add some 3D stars. Create a new solid. This time, make it comp size by clicking this button. Hit enter and rename it to Stars, but don't make it 3D. Instead, go to Effect, Simulation, CC Particle World, and solo the layer. Now, we need a lot of stars instantly and then no new ones to appear. And the way I like to do that is to go to Effect, Expression Controls, Slider Control, and set this to 2000. Then in CC Particle World, on birth rate, hold Alt and click on the stopwatch. And in the expressions area, type if brackets time is less than this comp, capital C, dot frame duration, capital D, close brackets, open curly brackets, and then use the pick whip to select the slider. Close curly brackets, else, open curly brackets, 0, close curlies. So if the time is greater than the first frame, stop generating particles, which means we can adjust the amount of stars and not worry about keyframes. There's a link in the description to both a preset for the stars and a text guide for this video if you prefer that. Now, we've got a couple of problems. The first is they're moving, so expand physics and set velocity and gravity to 0. Then expand producer, and we're going to create a much bigger shape than this little ball. In CC Particle World, the comp width determines the units, with 1 being the width of the comp. So I'm going to set all the radiuses to 2, so we get a bit of depth and plenty of stars. But playing that back, they don't last very long. So I'll set the longevity to 100 seconds, and now they've completely disappeared. But that's because the stars are set to fade up and fade out. So expand particle, change the type to faded sphere, increase max opacity to 100%, and then expand opacity map. And using the select tool, click and fill in the map. Set the birth and death colors to white, and then drop the birth and death sizes to 0.05. But After Effects is having a little bit of trouble with distant stars that are twinkling. So expand extras and depth Q and set the type to fade and the distance to 5. And now if I unsolo the layer, and thanks to the slider, if there aren't enough stars for your liking, just type in a bigger number. And thanks to the camera and null setup, you can orbit the nebula. Or move across it sideways, or move away from it. or even pass through to reveal another nebula behind. And in the time it's taken to drink a cup of tea, you've turned a static 2D photo into a cinematic voyage that would make Carl Sagan shed a tear. Or at least make your Instagram followers stop scrolling for a few seconds. If you get stuck, post in the comments, and if I can help, I will.